Hi, we're here with Jade from the UK, one of our previous students who has successfully recently just got her permanent residency in Australia. Jade studied carpentry at TAFE Queensland, got the graduate visa, completed the Job Ready program, and then obtained her skilled independent 189 permanent visa to Australia. So Jade, talk to us a little bit about the course, where was it, how many days a week was it, everything like that.
Yeah, so my course was all based at Ashmore. The course it began in your first semester where you do alternates, but normally it's on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it does depend on the enrolment. But you do that for your first term, and then your Wednesday becomes your vocational placement day.
Cool. And what did you do, when you were at school? What was it kind of like? Were you doing a lot of theory, doing a lot of practical? I know they got pretty epic facilities out at TAFE.
Yeah, so they had a recent refurb during the time of my education. So you do a bit of everything really. Every module that you're covering in Carpentry Cert III, you're doing a practical. So you're doing those assessments. So it could be things from roofing, wall framing, for the foundation works of carpentry. There's a variance. We even do stair building because again, it's part of the modules for measurements, calculations. So yeah, there's a good variance there where you're able to sort of find what's your key element that you'd like to do in the future.
Okay, awesome. And so when you were studying the course, were you working in the field as all?
Yeah, and I can't recommend this enough to people. So I know at the very beginning, sometimes, my first job when I first got here was retail, just because I networked with the right people in advance. And obviously it's more easy to get in.
Sure.
But I can't advise it enough that when you begin the course, get in the trade immediately. Either that's through your VPC, because even having the work as a labourer, you'll get an experience of the ground.
I say that all the time. I say get a job, even if you're carrying timber, digging holes, whatever, it'll get you familiar with the industry.
100%. But then when you asked me the ratio of male to female, there was only 4 girls out of 42 students.
As a female sort of in the construction industry, how did you find it? Was there any sort of advice you'd like to give,
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a battle. The first one I always talk to a lot of females about was first time I went on a building site, which was actually up in this area. The guy looked me up and down and went, "Oh, is it Smoko?" He thought I was a Smoko chick, even though I had a tool belt around my waist and everything. So look, there is still that little bit of old school, but I find it's just a bit of a challenge where I take it on to educate people that barrier is breaking slowly but surely. We're increasing the numbers of females, and we're just trying to encourage that it doesn't define your capability or your greatness just because you're male or female. There is things, but there's more than one way to skin a cat, which is what my teachers taught me. So I may not be able to lift the same capacity as a male, but in the same way, there's different avenues to do that. So it shouldn't define you with your job.
Okay, cool. All right, well, congratulations for persevering through it. So let's move forward. You've completed the course. Then after that, I assume we got to go through what's called the graduate work visa.
Yes, yeah.
And the Job Ready program. So the Job Ready program is basically where you got to work in the industry upon completion of your study for 12 months to demonstrate your skills and ability as a carpenter, and then you get a full skill assessment. So when you finished the course, where were you working?
So at the time when I finished, I got a job then working in the film industry. So mine was a bit different, it changed. So I went into the film industry when I was accumulating my hours ready. I was pretty lucky because the film industry, a minimum contract, it may depend on productions, but mine was 50 hours a week.
You need a skill assessment if you want to apply for a permanent visa to Australia. Fortunately, carpenters are right now probably one of the most in-demand occupations in Australia. The government's really put a precedent on trying to get as many sort of construction trades into Australia as possible, which is really good for general skilled migration and potential students. So you get your skill assessment.
Yeah.
And then basically the next step, we look to lodge what's called an expression of interest. And in that we go, hey, immigration, this is Jade. This is her age, education, work experience, English ability, carpenter, living and working on the Gold Coast. Yeah. Will you invite me for this visa, right? And we don't know exactly when the invitation rounds are going to be because it's up to the government when they do it. And now you've got permanent residency.
Yeah.
Obviously citizenship, probably.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go for that, yeah.
Can you explain how Pathway to Oz sort of helped you throughout the process?
Pathway to Oz, so we found you guys when we were looking at avenues at the time, because the intention was the whole working holiday visa if it was an option. But then you guys, as soon as we came over here, any questions we have at any point, it was just easy enough just to be able to check that box with you and make sure that we were following the process. You kept us informed with any changes with immigration, which was very scary, especially being here in the COVID time of it. But yeah, as soon as you've given us the direction, shown us the visas, what the options are, the best avenue, and everything was arranged for us. We don't have to do anything. We just, anything of the contents that's required for that, you guys just ask us and we send it. It was simple as.
So Pathway to Oz, we do education, we do migration. So we assisted with the student visa, grad visa, and then the permanent visa. So one last question. Would you recommend Pathway to Oz to your friends and family?
100%. And we'll still talk about it now when we're speaking with UK Home, hence why we brought you a client the other week.
If you're looking to study or migrate to Australia, feel free to contact Pathway to Oz. Thanks.